race, ethnicity, and discrimination. Multicultural studies. Multicultural studies, also known as multiculturalism or ethnic studies, is an academic field that examines the cultural, social, historical, and political experiences of diverse ethnic and cultural groups within a society. It focuses on understanding and appreciating the contributions, perspectives, and experiences of various cultural communities, including those historically marginalized or underrepresented. Multicultural studies draw from sociology, anthropology, history, literature, political science, and others to explore the complexities of cultural diversity and intercultural relations. The field aims to challenge stereotypes, promote social justice, and foster inclusivity by critically examining the social structures, power dynamics, and cultural interactions within a multicultural society. Sociology. Sociology is a social science developed that studies human society and social behavior. It examines various aspects of social life, including social interactions, social structures, institutions, and cultures, and how they shape individual and group behavior. Sociologists use systematic research methods and theories to analyze and understand the patterns and processes that occur within societies. Minority group. A minority group in sociology refers to a social group that occupies a disadvantaged or subordinate position concerning a dominant group within a particular society. This concept is based on the relative power, privilege, and social status of different groups within various characteristics, including race, ethnicity, nationality, religion, language, gender, sexual orientation, socioeconomic status, or physical or mental abilities that can distinguish minority groups. It's important to note that the term minority does not necessarily refer to a numerical or demographic representation. A minority group can be numerically larger than the dominant group, but still face social disadvantages and marginalization. Minority groups often experience social, economic, and political disadvantages in comparison to the dominant group. These disadvantages can manifest in various ways, such as limited access to resources, unequal treatment under the law, restricted opportunities for education and employment, and social stigma or discrimination. Subordinate group. In sociology, a subordinate refers to a social group that holds a lower position in terms of power, privilege, and social status within a particular society. In sociology, a minority refers to the subordinate group. A subordinate group can be defined based on various characteristics such as race, ethnicity, nationality, religion, language, gender, sexual orientation, socioeconomic status, or physical or mental abilities. These groups experience social disadvantages and marginalization compared to the dominant group or groups in society. Subordinate groups often face limited access to resources, unequal treatment under the law, restricted opportunities for education and employment, and various forms of social stigma or discrimination. Socio-historical process. Socio-historical processes are the changes and developments that happen in society over time. These processes are influenced by things like technological advancements, economic shifts, political changes, and cultural transformations. Examples of socio-historical processes include how societies change as they adopt new technologies, how different countries become interconnected through globalization, and how social movements work to bring about social change. These processes shape the way people live, work, interact, and think in society. By studying socio-historical processes, we can better understand how societies evolve and how they impact individuals and communities. Racial formation. The socio-historical process by which racial categories are created, inhabited, transformed, and destroyed is known as racial formation. Racial formation refers to the ways in which societies construct and understand race, as well as the social and cultural processes through which racial categories and identities are shaped and maintained. It involves the interconnections between social, political, economic, and cultural factors that influence the creation, interpretation, and significance of racial categories in different historical and social contexts. Racial formation is a concept often used in the field of sociology to study the dynamic nature of race and its social implications. Fusion. Fusion occurs when a minority and a majority group come together to form a new group. It involves the blending or integration of distinct groups, often resulting in the creation of a new collective identity that incorporates elements from both groups. Fusion can happen through intermarriage, cultural exchange, collaboration, or other forms of interaction that lead to the merging of previously separate groups. This process of fusion can contribute to social and cultural diversity, as well as the formation of new social identities and norms within a society. Minority group. A minority group is a subordinate group whose members have significantly less control or power over their own lives compared to members of a dominant group. Minority groups often face social, economic, and political disadvantages due to their marginalized position within a society. This disadvantage can manifest in various forms, such as limited access to resources, unequal treatment, and systemic discrimination. Minority groups can be based on various characteristics such as race, ethnicity, religion, gender, or socioeconomic status. Ethnocentrism. Ethnocentrism refers to the tendency or belief that one's own culture, values, and way of life are superior to those of other cultures. It involves judging and evaluating other cultures based on the standards and norms of one's own culture, often leading to a biased or distorted view of other societies. Ethnocentrism can lead to the belief in cultural superiority, the dismissal or devaluation of other cultural practices, and the tendency to view one's own cultural values as the correct or right way of living. It can hinder understanding, tolerance, and appreciation of cultural diversity and contribute to prejudice and intergroup conflicts. Ethnic slur. An ethnic slur is a derogatory term or expression used to demean, stereotype, or insult individuals or groups based on their ethnic or racial background. It is a form of hate speech that targets people of a specific ethnicity or race, often perpetuating negative stereotypes, prejudice, and discrimination. Ethnic slurs can take various forms, including offensive words, phrases, or gestures that are meant to belittle or demean individuals or entire communities. These slurs are often used to express prejudice, promote exclusion, or assert power dynamics based on perceived racial or ethnic superiority. Ethnic slurs are harmful and can have significant negative impacts on individuals and communities. They contribute to the perpetuation of discrimination, prejudice, and social divisions. The use of ethnic slurs is widely condemned as it undermines respect, equality, and the principles of diversity and inclusivity. Ethnofoulism. Ethnofoulism refers to the use of derogatory language or slurs targeting specific ethnic or racial groups. It involves the use of offensive terms, insults, or pejorative expressions based on a person's ethnicity or race. Ethnofoulisms are a form of verbal discrimination and can perpetuate stereotypes, prejudice, and social divisions. It is important to promote respectful and inclusive language and to avoid using ethnofoulisms or engaging in derogatory speech. Merton's typology. Merton's typology, developed by sociologist Robert K. Merton, is a theoretical framework that categorizes individuals' responses to social structure and cultural goals. The typology provides 4 possible modes of adaptation to societal norms and expectations. These adaptations are based on an individual's degree of conformity to cultural goals and their access to legitimate means of achieving those goals. Merton's typology is often used to understand deviant behavior and the relationship between societal goals and the means available to achieve them. All-weather bigot. Merton's typology categorizes individuals based on their attitudes and behaviors toward social structure and cultural goals. An all-weather bigot refers to someone who both rejects the cultural goals of society and adopts means that are actively hostile toward subordinate groups. They hold prejudiced and discriminatory views toward subordinate groups and are resistant to any form of contact or interaction with them. As a result, they are likely to be far removed from any real contact or understanding of subordinate groups. Bogardus scale. The Bogardus social distance scale provides a measure of individuals' attitudes towards racial or ethnic groups. It helps researchers understand the social perceptions and prejudices that may exist within a society or among specific populations. The scale has been used in social science research to examine intergroup relations, racial attitudes, and patterns of social integration or exclusion. It can also shed light on the extent of prejudice and discrimination within a society and serve as a basis for analyzing social change over time. The scale usually ranges from acceptance to rejection, with intermediate responses indicating different levels of social distance. The responses are then scored to determine an individual's overall social distance toward a particular group. Social distance. Social distance refers to the perceived or psychological separation between individuals or groups based on various social factors such as race, ethnicity, religion, class, or other characteristics. It is a concept used in sociology to understand the degree of closeness or distance that people feel towards others who are different from them in terms of these social dimensions. The concept of social distance is often measured using scales such as the Bogardus Social Distance Scale, which assesses individuals' willingness to engage in various types of social interactions or relationships with members of different social groups. By studying social distance, sociologists aim to understand the dynamics of social relations, intergroup attitudes, and the factors that contribute to the formation or reduction of social barriers between individuals and groups. The Bogardus scale was conceptualized to measure social distance empirically. It provides researchers with empirical data based on observation to better understand the social dynamics between different groups and guide efforts toward promoting social inclusion and reducing discrimination. Socioeconomic. Socioeconomic refers to the combination of social and economic factors that influence the status, opportunities, and well-being of individuals, households, or communities. It encompasses the interaction between social factors such as education, occupation, income, and social class, with economic factors like wealth, resources, and economic systems. The socioeconomic status of an individual or group is determined by various interconnected elements, including their level of education, occupation, income level, and access to resources and opportunities. These factors play a significant role in shaping individuals' quality of life, social mobility, and overall socioeconomic outcomes. Socioeconomic circumstance. Socioeconomic circumstances refer to the social and economic conditions that an individual or group experiences. It encompasses a wide range of factors including income level, occupation, education, wealth, and access to resources and opportunities. These circumstances can significantly impact an individual's quality of life, social mobility, and overall well-being. Socioeconomic circumstances are shaped by various factors, such as social class, family background, geographical location, historical context, and systemic factors like discrimination and social policies. They influence an individual's access to health care, education, housing, employment, and other essential resources and services. For example, individuals from higher socioeconomic circumstances generally have greater access to quality education, better job opportunities, higher incomes, and improved health care. They may also have more financial stability and resources to navigate challenges and invest in personal and professional growth. On the other hand, individuals from lower socioeconomic circumstances often face barriers and disadvantages, such as limited access to educational opportunities, fewer job prospects, lower incomes, inadequate health care, and higher levels of poverty. They may also experience social exclusion, inequality, and a lack of social mobility. Socioeconomic circumstances are an important aspect of studying social inequality and understanding the structural factors that contribute to disparities and disadvantages within society. Analyzing and addressing socioeconomic circumstances is crucial for creating policies and interventions that aim to reduce inequality, promote social justice, and improve the well-being and opportunities for individuals and communities. Environmental justice. Environmental justice refers to the fair and equitable treatment of all individuals and communities, regardless of race, ethnicity, or socioeconomic status, in the distribution of environmental benefits and burdens. It involves the pursuit of equality in environmental protection, access to resources, and the right to a clean and healthy environment. Environmental justice encompasses efforts to ensure that hazardous substances are controlled and regulated in a manner that protects all communities, regardless of their racial or socioeconomic circumstances. It emphasizes the importance of avoiding disproportionate exposure to environmental hazards in marginalized or disadvantaged communities and promotes equitable distribution of environmental benefits and burdens. Affirmative action. Affirmative action refers to the deliberate effort to promote equal opportunities for individuals from historically marginalized or underrepresented groups. It involves policies and practices aimed at increasing the representation of these individuals in areas such as employment, promotions, and educational opportunities. The purpose of affirmative action is to address the effects of past discrimination and create a more inclusive society by actively seeking to recruit and provide opportunities to individuals who may have faced barriers and disadvantages due to their membership in a subordinate group. It often involves setting specific targets or goals for the recruitment and advancement of individuals from these groups.